And what up, what up, what up? It's your man Sean P coming in live. This is the Sean P Experience on YouTube, back for season 3. That's right, it's been 3 seasons of the Sean P Experience on YouTube. This is my first show of 2026. And what a way to kick it off, man. I got an amazing sister here. We go way, way back, mad years in real life. Forget social media, in
Yes.
real life. And I love bringing on my local authors to the show, people I know, not just off of Instagram or something, but people I know in real life. And she has incredible products. She's a dope sister. And she brings a lot to the table, man. So how you doing today, Miss Dominique?
I'm good. Hey, Sean, I did not know that I was the first guest for the new year.
Yeah, you
You
you you
didn't
you you
tell me that.
you just set it off show. Set it off in the mud.
That's why you had that song. Okay,
You see what I'm
okay.
saying?
It
You see,
makes sense.
you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing?
Yeah,
But
no, that's
shout
awesome.
out to the chat, man. I see what people in the chat already what's going on to the chat. As y'all may know, if you're new to the channel, please comment in the chat. I'm gonna try to answer any questions in the chat in real time, much as we can, as we're rocking the with the show. But let me do an official introduction for my friend, man. On
Yeah.
today's podcast, we are joined by Dominique Yancy, counselor, certified life coach, and creator of SoftStruxure. In this conversation, we're going to pull back the curtain on the creation of her system, how lived experiences, psychology, and real life motherhood shape the framework built on structure without stress.
Mhm.
Dominique walks us through the intention, the process, and the purpose behind SoftStruxure and how it's helping women honor their energy while building sustainable lives. I give you all Miss Dominique Yancy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much again for having me. It is a pleasure. Soft Structure is my newest baby that I adore so much. And I am looking to pretty much build a community around South Structure and help mothers listen from all over, whoever I can help. You already know me, you know my background. I have a passion for helping people. I've been in the mental health addiction field for 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. I released my first book almost 10 years ago. So I am constantly thank you. I'm constantly thinking of new ways to pretty much help other people. So thank you again for having me, Sean.
Let me give a personal tidbit for those that will not know this. So she said her book, she's been an author like 10 years, right? So
Yes,
whenever I started
yes.
writing my first book, being where we're from, there are not many authors around here just walking around. You can't just
Right.
go and talk to somebody about advice on writing and publishing and how the process go. So Dominique was the first person around here that I saw with a book signing and the book coming out and all of her promo things she was doing. Like,
Yeah.
I was writing my book in the background while she was doing it, but she was like the forward person I was looking at. Like, yeah, my book signing gonna be like this, and I'm gonna do that. I was basing that off of what I was seeing Dominique do. And then whenever my book came out, she attended my first ever book signing. Dominique was in attendance. So this is a full
Indeed.
circle moment for
Yes.
anybody watching the show, man.
Most definitely. I remember I don't know if you remember. I remember you coming to my office one day and you were like, "Man, you're writing a book, that's dope. Like I'm about to write mine too." And I was like,
Yep,
"Hey, I'm all
yep,
for it. Go do what you
yep.
need to do. I'm here.
I remember
Hit
that.
me up if you need help." You remember?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. How can
Okay.
I forget? How can I forget, man?
Right.
Man, for those that don't know, Dominique and I worked together almost 9 to 10 years ago. We were actually co-workers, and I would go to her office on a regular basis for various, just advice,
Yes.
suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
tips. This is the truth of breathe and kick it, man. She
Just to
she a
chop it
dope
up.
sister outside of all this. She dope as a person, man.
Thank you.
So I definitely want to pay homage and give credit to where it's due. I got a question for you, Dominique.
What
I
you
love
got?
to ask my southern authors this kind of question. My
Okay.
Louisiana ones in particular. There's a
Mm-hmm.
perception about Southern writers and Southern artists like we're not as clever, we're not as witty, we're not as smart. It's been a long going thing for many, many decades. What's
Mm-hmm.
your ideas about that kind of perception about the South and our intellect?
As an author or just as a whole,
Well,
as our intellect?
as an author, as a creative, artist, any of those things.
Okay, so honestly, I think that's shifting. I don't think it's leaning towards that anymore. I think a lot of great music, great artistry comes out of the South. A lot of people sample music from the South, and so I really think that that mind frame or that mindset is shifting. There's a lot of people in the South that are creative, that think outside the box, especially as an author. There are a lot of authors that I've met out of the South that are really doing great things. So yeah, I think that's shifting.
Okay, cool,
Hmm.
cool. So again, as I said earlier, it's not like New York or Chicago or Cali where we have just authors everywhere. You go to the coffee shop and they got people
Right.
there writing. So who are some of your early influence on, like, you know what? I want to be an author. Who was that guide in life for you that you looked at? Like, man, I'm gonna start trying to write. I see what they're
Yeah.
doing. Now I want to try to get my hand at it. Who was that for
Yeah.
you?
Honestly, I'm gonna be totally transparent with you. I didn't have anybody. I really didn't. I know there were the Maya Angelos, there were like the Bell Hooks, there were different people like that, but I didn't really have someone that I looked up to. For me, I saw a need within remember I was doing group therapy, and I've been, like I said, addiction and mental health field. And so I picked up that there were a need for a lot of information, and I can't just do it in a group setting. I can't just do it, on a blackboard or whatever. So I decided to write a book. And mind you, back then, writing a book was pen and paper. It was literally, I carried my laptop with me everywhere. And I jot stuff down, and I had a publisher, and I was in communication with them, and I didn't have Canva. I didn't have all these other tools. So I legit put blood, sweat, and tears into that. So I didn't have anybody who inspired me or taught me this. I pretty much went through it on my own.
I mean, so did I. So did I. It was a lot of both my
Mhm.
head against the wall,
You
a
remember?
lot of
Yeah.
stumbling. I'll never forget this. My first book cover, What's Your Kick? The guide to
Yeah.
unlocking your passion. The cover
Mhm.
got rejected like 9 times,
I remember you told
but
me
I
that.
didn't know what I needed to know. So the cover
Right.
just kept getting rejected, kept getting rejected. Other
Right.
parts of the process kept getting rejected, but I didn't know what I needed
Yeah.
to know. You know what I'm saying? You
Correct.
just don't know. You're just
Yeah.
trying. You just, you
Mm-hmm.
know, all you know
Yeah.
in your heart is, I want to be an author. I want to write a book. Whatever it takes to do it, I'm
Yeah.
going to
I'm
just
gonna
do it.
do it.
So
I'm gonna
it's
do
that
it.
first baby. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Totally understand. Pause process proceed is still out there. Walmart, Amazon, wherever.
Yeah.
She's still there. So, and I'm very much appreciative of the
Yeah,
the
an amazing
experience.
publication. Go out there and get it. I interviewed her on that book years ago on
She did.
Facebook
She
channel.
did. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Definitely go and dig into that, check into that. But let's do
Yeah.
a pivot on your brand new publication, your newest one, the
Yeah.
Soft Mind Era Playbook and Guide. Tell us about,
Correct.
like, what was going on for you that made you want to write that book, and what brought that need on.
So soft mom era, I don't know if you remember when soft life started to kick off on social media. A lot of women were chasing the soft life. And so I released Soft Mom Era Playbook and Guide last year, I want to say last summer. And my intention for that was to, help moms, um, especially mothers, get to that space, right? Because soft life is a goal, right? And I'm gonna tag in soft structure a little bit in this answer.
Yeah,
Soft
sure.
mom era, soft life is a goal. And so you see a lot of people out there talking about soft life this, soft life that, or the soft life. But that's the goal. How do I get there? Right? How do I get there? And so just getting up and going to get coffee, that may not be doable for a person. Going exercise, that may not be doable for a person. So I on social media, I see people doing stuff and saying soft life, but I need to know how to get there. That's just like saying, okay, I'm in Houston and I want to go to New Orleans. New Orleans is the goal. How do I get there? What's the route? Right. And so I say all that to say that's where soft structure was born, because it's systems that people need in order to get to their goal, whether that is just a soft life, or whether it is less chaos in the home, or whether it's more structure, whatever the case may be. That's the purpose of soft structure. So soft mom era is for moms who want a less chaotic um world, And then self structure gives you more of the systems as well. So it's a little bit of both.
Let's slow it down. I like bringing things down on the show for
Yeah.
the viewers, for the guys watching this. We do see on social media, the soft, all this
Hmm.
soft. Break down to us in layman terms. What does that mean whenever we're seeing the soft life and what is that alluding to?
So when you see soft life, it's just less stress. It's slower days, slower mornings. For some people, now let me say this: everybody has a different definition of soft life. A soft life to one person can be less stress, less chaos, and another person it can be shopping, it can be spending money, it can be buying cars, whatever it is to make your life easier or have that good feel good feeling in the addiction world. Whatever spikes your dopamine, whatever gets the serotonin going,
I love that.
so
I love what you see. That's why I love having her on the show. I love what you did with that. That was good. That was good.
yeah, and that's all it is. It's all the chemical balance in the brain. That's all it is. And so the systems will be put in place to help with those chemical balances. So that's I try to come from every angle that I can in order for someone to be
But
okay.
I love that because I had a sister on the show about a year ago or two.
Yeah.
She has a
Yeah.
book called I think it's called Hood Wellness, right? But the whole
Okay.
premise is a lot of things online about health and wellness is always dealing with money. What if you
Oh,
can't afford to go to the nail salon? What if you can't afford to get your hair done? You can't afford a facial and to go to brunch on Sunday and get the flights and all that. What does
right.
wellness look like for the average everyday person that can't do those things? And
Yeah.
that's not about money. That's about like you said, a structure and a mindset. How can
Correct.
you feel good outside of those things? That's cool, that's cute, but like, what could you
Hmm.
actually do today? Right
Yeah.
now. You know,
Right, totally agree. And within self structure, not only will it be another like guide or playbook, I'm also going to be offering a community as well as one on ones, coaching, consulting, and all of that. So I literally will sit down with a mother or a woman. And we are going to do like an analysis. Like, let's talk about what worked and what didn't work, just like a business structure. What's working for the business, what's not working for the business. And it's the same thing with motherhood. What's working and what's not. And then we can eliminate what's not working and try to implement tools that can help, and not putting everything, all at once into the system, but doing a lot of trial and error. So I do sit down with people all day, every day, and even with the counseling and talk about systems and what works and what don't work. So why not do that within soft structure to help mothers who are really struggling?
both of us having that counseling background, we have that lens, right? I love
Yeah.
that all of your books I've seen so far, they're
Hmm.
all a playbook and it is a guide. Tell
Yeah.
me why you take that particular angle on writing versus other kind of self-help books where it's like you pretty much read the
Hmm.
book, you close it, okay, I read it, but like the application might not be there. I love that your books have the principles, the affirmations. You got to write the little notes in there. Like I love that about our books, actually. You know,
Yeah, so it's a guide, it's a playbook. So just like a football team, they have a playbook, they have a guide, like do this and do that, and the goal is to win, right? So I don't just want to produce a PDF or a book to where you just read. I also want you to implement as well. I want you to be able to say, okay, step one, step two, step three, step four. And if one don't work, then I could do three. If three don't work, maybe I could do two. Different things like that. I try to make it interactive to where I know for me, I'm hands on. A lot of people are not, some people are, but a lot of people learning styles are hands on. So I try to take that approach as well.
yeah. Let me set this up because again, for the guys watching this, maybe you're married or you have a mother to your children, right? To understand how you could assist in the soft life situation. Tell us the difference between Dominique as a mother creating, writing, being in the social media world versus Dominique that I met years ago, way before motherhood. Like, what's the actual difference, right? Because some folks might say, well, being a mom is no big deal, and I can still write books, and I can still, but like, there are some uh objectives, there are some
Hmm.
barriers that's different, right?
Right, very much so. Sean, the Dominique you met, impatient, working, is totally different from the Dominique now, and you know that because the Dominique that was working, was able. I was moving around, I was in and out, I was, doing a lot of stuff. But the Dominique now is more grounded. I can actually say that through all of the life experiences that I've experienced with even within these last maybe 3 years, 4 years, now I can actually say that Dominique now is grounded. As a mom, I am learning a lot about the importance of patience and rest. And at the end of the day, if Dominique, the mother, isn't good, nothing around her is going to be good, right? The baby's not good, the family's not good, my community is not good, nobody's good. So I had to really stand back before everything hit me all at once, and I had to say, oh girl, you got to be okay, and now that I've reached that point, I want to share and help other mothers, just like I did in the counseling field. I want to help other people there, so I want to help other people on this side as well.
And we live in a day and time where it's so crazy how people like talk on social media or talk in general. Like they don't want to literally admit that parenthood, it can be tough sometimes. It can be difficult. Parenthood is a real thing. Like don't just I think people try to perform the same way they did prior to being a parent. It's like it's not fair to yourself to say, man, I used to go to the gym 7 days a week. Now I'm barely going to the gym. Or I was going to these places and to these book signings, but now I could barely even leave. Like, that's a real thing. And the first step is admittance, right? So once you admit, okay, this is different, how do I navigate different to still get this stuff done? Right.
Not you implementing the 12 steps.
I'm just saying, they don't want to
Not
admit.
you
They
saying
think,
the
oh,
12
no,
steps.
oh no, parenthood is easy, and no, having a child ain't no different. And people would
Yeah.
tell people that's not parents, as far as
Hmm.
advising them, like, oh, you have a baby, you can still go to school. You can still go to school, but like, how difficult is that going to be when that
Right.
baby up all night, you trying to write your little paper before midnight,
Right.
before the
Right.
deadline? Like that's different, you know.
Correct. Yeah, no, that is so true. And it's all about balance. It's all about finding a balance. Social media, I feel, to a lot of people is an illusion. It's a escape. It's a way people avoid real life, and they paint this picture that, hey, everything is good. Even with this, everything is good, but sometimes, there are times where that mother is in that bathroom crying, or that mother is having those restless nights because the baby is up screaming because he or she has colic, or no family support, or
Yes,
work may be a lot. That's real life, and it's okay to
yeah,
experience that. Hmm.
that's what we need. We need real conversations. I know so many
Yeah.
mothers. I used to wonder why Dominique. Why so
Hmm.
many ladies I knew they would sit in their driveway and just be in the car
Yes,
for
playing on the
like
phone.
45 minutes. They're trying to decompress,
Yes,
but at the
correct.
time I didn't know what that was. Are they going in their own bathroom and close the door? They're not
Yeah.
using the bathroom or taking a shower. They're just trying to get us some
Hmm.
space between me and them for a little while to
Correct.
compose myself, gather myself before I go back out that door and
Yes.
tackle snack time or whatever it is.
Yes.
That's what they were trying to do in so many
Correct.
words, you know?
Hmm. Correct. And a lot of people don't know how to communicate that. Some people may think, like you said, maybe they avoid me or they don't like what's going on. No, that person just needs to decompress, and it's easier to say that than to actually say that, so it's hard, and some people don't know how to verbalize. I just need some time, and I get it.
Hey,
I
let me tell you now, this is real conversations once again. We ain't doing no
Yeah,
fluff.
go ahead. What you got?
So when I first got married as a gentleman,
Hmm.
wife pull up to the parking lot, the little wheels hit the driveway. I can hear the tires outside. I go outside, open the door. I want to go out there, open the
Uh-huh.
door for her and greet her in the house without realizing she just sitting there like, and so when I realized what she was doing and why she was doing it, I just leave her alone. Like, all right, I know she need that. So I'm not being a gentleman. I just know she need that time. So I'm gonna let her have
Correct.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Exactly.
But
Because
it's just me
mama,
being aware. It wasn't really a conversation. I had to pay attention. Like, oh, that was she doing. Okay.
yeah, because all day we're on someone's job. We're dealing with that. And then when we come home, you know, we have babies. We have babies. We have the family we have to look after, we have to take care of. And then by the time you get your me time, you're exhausted. So I get it, Sean. And I'm so glad you were able to be aware and pick that up and allow her that space.
Cause look, Dominique, after all the things
Yeah.
you just said, we'll
Hmm.
still come up there. What's going on, babe? What's going on? How you doing? How the baby? Y'all be like, man, like, give me
Right.
a minute.
Yes. I need a second. Right. Totally get it. Mhm.
This is an important topic right here that's very, very serious, man. Let's talk
Yeah.
about the importance of healthy boundaries, being
Mm.
able to say no, having
Hmm.
slow mornings, and protecting your time. Once again, I just said that. Like, why are boundaries so important? Especially when people need to set them with the loved one. Like, setting boundaries with strangers kind of easy, co-workers, people on social media, but like your loved ones, your family, your longtime friends, it's kind of a harder
Sean,
boundary to set.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Check, 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 check. Hear me? Check, check. Mic check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nothing? That's weird. Give me one second. These folks. Oh, wow. Yeah, that. Why did it keep
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just went out on me.
No, so I was trying to do the audio settings, and for some reason, when I changed the audio, everything just kicked. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's yeah, I'm so sorry. Now you were talking about
No, you
boundaries?
good. So, yeah, so I was saying in the opening of your book, talked about healthy boundaries, the
Yeah.
importance of having boundaries, being able to say no, having those slow
Yeah.
mornings, and protecting your time. Why is it so hard to set boundaries with loved ones, though? Like, strangers are easy at work,
Yeah.
co-workers, social media, but your actual loved ones, that's a harder boundary to set. Talk about the importance of boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries are important, and a lot of people, and I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. However, I know people at work, it's easier to set a boundary because I mean, I don't love them. I don't care, I don't care about them, quote unquote. However, loved ones, family members, it's a little bit harder because these are people that we care about. These are people that we do for. These are people that probably do for us. So it's a little bit harder to say no. However, this is especially for my people pleasers. If you feel that you are a people pleaser, you're always saying yes, always doing for other people, having boundaries will literally save your life because once you set boundaries, you are able to rest. You're able to pretty much tap into some type of creativity because you're not doing for other people. And you are also able to pour into your own cup. That goes back to a little bit what I was saying earlier. We're pouring and pouring into other people's cup. By the time it's time for our cup to be filled, we have no more to give to ourselves, right? So creating boundaries and setting those boundaries are very important. I tell a lot of the mothers that I work with, in order to start learning how to set a boundary, start setting boundaries with yourself. Start there. Okay. If there's something that you would like to change, maybe you eat sweets after 7 p.m. Tell yourself you can't have sweets after 7 p.m. and stand on it, and just try there. And then once you are able to get that down, then you can move on to the family members and the co-workers and all of that. So that's why I say to start.
My good buddy Cliff here in Lafayette, Cliff Roy Jr., we had a thing we did years ago about the power of saying no, right? And the
Yeah.
thing was,
Hmm.
every time you tell somebody yes, you're telling yourself no to so many things that you could be doing.
Facts.
Your
Facts.
time,
Mhm.
energy, resource. Every yes you give, you're telling yourself so
Yeah.
many no's, man. That's important.
That is true. That is so true, and I totally agree with that. I remember you and Cliff's. Um, it was was it a podcast that y'all did that on?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay, yes, I most definitely remember that. So yes, I totally agree with that. You're taking just a little bit of yourself away every time you do for other people, and of course, it's okay to say, you know what? I hear you. I hear the question, but let me get back to you. You don't have to give people a response right then and there. That way, you give yourself time to process it and see if it will take away from you or add, anything. Now, mind you, I am not saying make everything transactional, right? But if it like, okay, but if you have a habit of always saying yes, it's okay to say no to certain things. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yep. Yeah, yeah, it kind
Okay.
of glitched for a little second, and then it came back. We good.
Well,
We
when
good.
I tell you, I mean, the enemy must not want us to put this out
Hey,
because,
hey, Dominique, all my years doing this, I learned one thing. Technology gonna be technology, man.
yes,
Everything
it
that
will
can
be.
happen will happen. I
It will
learned that a long
happen.
time ago. Just keep it going. Just
Just
keep
go
it
with
going.
the flow. I get it. I get it.
But we talked about having peace earlier. And one of the
Mhm.
most important the cornerstones of peace to me is your boundaries that you set. Like
Right.
your peace have to be more important than everybody else's happiness and comfortability and all that stuff like that. And you got to avoid the feeling of obligation. That's one word that I don't like. I never want to feel obligated to somebody or something. And we see that so much in society. A person don't want to do something, but you feel like, man, they did this for me for their birthday party, so now I gotta do this for them for their child birthday party, or they came to my graduation party, so now I gotta go to their book signing. Or I don't like that transactional. You said transact. I don't like that tip for tat. I don't like that. You know.
Yeah. I know. But let me ask you a question. And this just popped up in my head. What if someone's peace is wrapped in chaos? Just think about it.
Ooh,
Just think about it.
their peace is wrapped in chaos.
Mhm.
That sounds like to me a person that they have normalized the abnormal.
Correct.
Maybe,
So,
maybe, maybe, maybe their living environment they grew up in was so chaotic, but that's their
correct.
peace. That's their normal.
That's their norm. And so they go looking for people pleasing,
Yes.
rescuing, saying yes. They go looking for that because that's where they feel the most comfortable, but that's not it. Right. So being able to, of course, I do that with my clients. I do that with my moms that I work with. We try to see if we can pick that up, without me being a counselor at the same time. Because we try, it's all into that. Like you never know what is embedded in that psyche until you sit down and you really talk to somebody about that.
But this is why I got into psychology to begin with. In my opinion, everything
Mhm.
is psychology. This social media stuff is all psychology. This all these billion-dollar companies, they spend a lot of money on understanding our spending habits and why we do certain things. It's all
Right.
psychology. Whether I call it psychology or not, it's happening, in the
Correct.
background. So you're
Mhm.
right about that. I mean, without being a counselor, but you got to
Mhm.
dig into some of those childhood traumas. You got to dig into some of their relationships early. All of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. And that's where soft structure touches. I don't necessarily touch on trauma with people because I'm not doing therapy work at all. But it goes into the coaching. We try to see, why you are living in chaos, why you are having, maybe racing thoughts to where you can't just get things in order. You can't get things structured, and we do put together a system. Like I said, we do it together. Whichever you're comfortable with, we do that together, and we go from there. So, yeah.
So before we pivot off of the book, I want to ask you one last question. What do you hope the readers actually do with this book? When they
The work.
finally finish it, they complete it. What are they going to achieve or accomplish when they do this?
Do the work. Do the work. You can't say that you want something and you don't do it. What is that saying? Doing the same thing, looking for different results equals insanity.
Yes, yes. Come on now.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you have a tool that you've never used, nothing changes unless something changes. So if you have the tool, I think that's how they go. So if you have the tool and it's right there in front of you and you don't know where to start, but you have someone that's helping you get there, try it out. It's going to either work or it won't. And if it don't work, another system. Let's try another route. But let's just keep doing it until we get this right.
You know what always trip me out, Dominique? All
What?
of my books are self-help books as well, right? And so I
Yeah.
always have questions in the book. I have questions and recommended reading, all this stuff. When a
Yeah.
person come up to me, like, oh, Sean, I finished a book last night. I say, you did the questions? They be like,
Mm-mm.
I'm like, you didn't do the book then. I mean, you
Nope.
you you went through it, you blazed it, but what did you gain from that? The real meat of it is what you write in those questions. That's the real meat of the book.
Correct. Correct.
You can't skip that, you know?
Yeah, not everyone. You can't expect everyone to do that. You really can't, right? You got to meet people where they are. So if you don't want to write or answer the questions, that's fine. But I'm gonna ask you verbally. I'm gonna ask you verbally. If you do if we're in a coaching session, I'm gonna ask you verbally.
Yeah,
And then we're gonna go from there. So
yeah,
I am not gonna be that type of coach or anything
yeah,
like that when it comes to that. But we just want to make sure that we set a goal and we
yeah,
reach the goal. That's all.
yeah, yeah. Give us the difference between peace versus proving yourself. The difference
Mm.
between peace versus truly constantly trying to prove yourself to others, and why is that so important to recognize?
So you remember earlier when I said, well, when I mentioned people pleasing, that's proven to others. We're out here making sure other people see that we're doing something. It's external validation, right? And sometimes, majority of the time, we don't get peace in that. Maybe for a moment, but once you get in a space where you are doing this because that's what you love, that's what works for you, you're not going to care about other people's opinions, other people's thoughts. And I'm going to be honest, I'm in that category. Like, I think about how other people may judge me or how other people may look at me. However, I was able to identify, we all have strengths and weaknesses. And I was able to identify that. And then once I was able to admit it, like you said, admit that, okay, now what are you going to do to strengthen yourself so that you can be good internally, Dominique? I had to look in the mirror and I had to ask myself that. I had to build my village. I had to have my village surround me, with good words and good things. I had to, practice my affirmations. I had to write down my Bible scriptures because I go off the word. You already know. I can't do this without God. I can't. So I had to literally choose my peace over worrying about somebody else. It ain't worth it. Mm-mm.
So let's help somebody out here right now watching this, or they might watch it later on YouTube. What's the
Yeah.
first step in releasing that? The first step in releasing that stronghold on the person, and they're so worried about other folks' opinions and everything. You know what? Being the author in the author space,
Hmm.
always tell me all the time in private, Sean, I want to put this out. But what if this don't happen? And what if they don't receive it? And what if this circle don't take to it? It's like, do it because you want to do it.
Yeah. So
So,
I was
yeah.
I was actually having an interesting conversation yesterday, and the individual told me that you have to take the only person that you can bet on is yourself, right? And that comes with trust. So if you can't trust yourself enough to do it, then what's going on? What do you need to do in order to start trusting yourself again? Right. And so that actually kind of rocked me a little bit because, there are a lot of projects that I have sitting in front of me that I want to take on, and that individual told me that, like, all you could do is take a gamble. It's like money. Scared money don't make no money. You know what I'm saying? You just got money sitting in a regular savings account, but you didn't go and put it in any stocks, or you didn't go, invest. So you got to take a chance. You got to take that risk, and the most that will happen is what? It's not going to work out. Move on to something else. So yeah, so just sit down and identify, what is the barrier, what is stopping you from doing that, and then go from there.
Yeah. Being in this space, interviewing authors once again, man, on the
Yeah.
traditional publishing side of authors, they don't have as much leeway as we do. They're told kind of sort of the cover got to be like this, or
Mhm.
you can't write about this, you can't say this, right? and they tell me in private what they want to say and what they want to
Mhm.
write. Like, man, you got to find a way to do your thing. To go to bed good at night without those racing thoughts. Talk about that earlier.
Yeah.
You got to put out what you want to put out.
You
For
said
those that like
the publishing company stops them from doing that?
on certain things, yes, yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah.
okay.
But you know what? Like I'm self-published. I believe you're self-published.
I'm
Like
self, yeah. Well, I'm self for
whatever.
the ebooks, but I went through a
Yeah,
publishing
yeah.
company for the
Uh,
actual
um,
book.
you know whatever. I said the cover is the cover is.
Correct. Yeah,
If
correct.
anybody
Correct.
else don't like it, I loved it. All
Right.
that matters.
Right.
The way in
Yeah.
which I structure it and lay it out and write it, that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I go to
Yeah.
bed good at night knowing that I did my best foot forward. I'm done with that. It's released, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna harp on these little small things, but some people feel like "Oh, I can't do it like this. So and they wait 5 and 10 years just sitting on a project. Like, man, you gotta
Yeah.
do what you want to do.
Right. Yeah. Totally agree. I do agree,
Mhm.
Sean.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So the soft structure, let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up recently, like, man, Sean, guess what? I got something new. Man, it's a bang. I'm like, man,
I
what you
did.
so tell me about when your idea first came to create this. What was that moment like? You first had that light bulb come on.
I had that light bulb come on. It was at night when I put my head on my pillow. It was crazy because I kept going back and forth about because I wanted to keep writing. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to continue to help mothers. And I remember to myself, I had internally prayed and I said, "Oh Lord, you're gonna have to direct me on this one because I don't know what to do." And I put this on everything, Sean. The Holy Spirit hit me and it was like soft structure. And structure is spelled Struxure. Like all of that. So that stands out. And from that, I can build from, and it was so amazing to me when it hit. And it's just like a dream. When you have a dream, because I'm a dreamer. I don't know about you, I'm a dreamer. And so when I dream, I have to write it down in order to interpret it later. So I had to hurry up and write it down. And I'm like, oh, girl, this stands out. This is awesome. So now what you're gonna do with it, right? You have the skills, you have the knowledge. You just got to go from there and grow it. So soft structure literally came to me in the middle of the night before bed.
The exact time I get most of my ideas. It's
At
just like
night.
2 in the
And
morning, 3 in the morning, go and
oh
take a shower
gosh.
later at night. I'm by myself, and that water
Yeah.
hit me, and it's just like, I mean, the whole thing comes to me, not like a part or idea. That the whole thing
Yeah.
just like
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I gotta drive all fast as I can and start typing.
To go write it down. I know. Yes. I'm like, oh man, because I don't want to forget it. Because I'll forget it if I let it go too long. So yeah, I totally understand.
You know what it remind me of, Dominique, man? How they say like
Come
we
on.
use our talents for the good of society and everything. So like for the folks that maybe can't afford to go to counseling for whatever reason, they can't afford to, or they just won't for their pride reasons, they won't go
Mhm.
sit down. Having these tools you have and these backgrounds, they can still get what they need to get better at life via your books, via soft structure programming. You're
Yeah.
doing analysis. Like I think that's
Mhm.
incredible.
Thank
That's
you, Sean.
incredible.
Thank you, Sean. And there are resources out there, and that's another thing that I'll be providing within the community resources for individuals who need it. If you have a need and you tell me about it, I will most definitely go above and beyond to help. Because I mean, I've done case management. I've done it all. So, and leaning on the community is going to be very important in understanding that if you can't afford therapy, TikTok is not really therapy. It helps because people share their experiences, but getting in a community with other like-minded people, um, of course, helps a lot as well. So yeah, there are resources out there.
I want to ask you a question.
Hmm.
I want to save it toward the end of the conversation, but let's do it right now. Let's go with the spirit, right? You mentioned
Okay.
TikTok. TikTok for an example. TikTok, any platform.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts about the amount of people out there that are trying to self-diagnose and they're trying to self-analyze themselves, not understanding like maybe you're not bipolar, maybe you're not this other kind of disorder. You just thinking like, oh, these things line up. Maybe I'm this. And so many people out there are doing that because they just scrolling and see a 2 minute video. Oh, that's me. Like maybe it's not you. What's your thoughts on that as a professional?
Yeah, so it's all about wanting that connection or agreeing with because you feel connected, right? I know for instance, there's narcissism. That is huge on TikTok. Oh, this person is a narcissist. Oh, this person is a narcissist. Oh, this person, or this and that. And it's like a person can have the behaviors, but that not necessarily means that they are a narcissist. But they have the behaviors. They may have a couple things that check off, which is still wrong. But that does not mean they're full blown a narcissist, right? ADHD or ADD, some people, like you say, bipolar, schizophrenia. Some people be like, I experienced that, so I have that. Or a lot of people go to WebMD and they have a cold, just a common cold. They go to WebMD and all of a sudden they're dead, right? They're dying. So now they're scared, So you have to be very careful with that, especially with social media, because it can create chaos within the mind as well, right? It can actually make the symptoms worse. It can lead you to
Yes,
that if you're
that's
not
what I'm
careful.
saying. Like the
Right.
mind is so
Mhm.
powerful, bro.
It
Like
is.
when you put certain things in your psyche, your eyes, ears, whatever it might be, you gotta be very careful in what you just. They always say, be careful about diagnosing yourself, man. Be careful diagnosing yourself.
So, I gotta touch on it. The tongue is the most powerful part of the body. It speaks life or death, right? So if I continue to tell myself, I'm crazy, I'm crazy, I'm crazy, well, guess what? I'm gonna eventually become crazy. Okay, so you got to be very careful of what you speak over yourself, what you speak over, other people. Some I know for me, if I go off angry or whatever, I have to really catch myself because I'm like, oh, Dominique, you don't want to speak nothing on nobody or on yourself, because there are times where I would
So,
just let it rip, and then I'll be like, after that, I'll be like, oh, girl, like
so
no, mm-hmm.
Dominique, back to parenthood. Talk about
Oh,
the importance of how we speak to our children in real
yes,
time. Because again,
yes,
you busy, you flustered, you tired, you up late making dinner, and Leah
yes.
Johnny tugging on your coat, they want something, and but you might say something in that moment that child never forget for the rest of their life, that moment in the kitchen. And you even forgot about that 20 years later. They're still harping on that. They're a grown person sitting in front of us. Man, that one time in the kitchen, mama, this and that. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be
Um,
hyper aware of that as a parent. I know it's difficult, but
it's very difficult. It is because we're emotional individuals. We're human, and we can go off into our own world, and we'll just impulsively say something, maybe to the child, maybe about the child, maybe about your spouse. You're talking about the child, or somebody else in the family. You're talking about the child, and children are little tape recorders. They will, they will remember stuff, and they may say it again. So it's very important to be self-aware of what you're saying, and it's okay to go into the next room and scream. Yeah, it's okay to write it down. It's okay to do that, but catching it in the moment actually helps. But like I say, you got to give yourself grace in parenthood. As mothers, we have to, fathers, we have to give ourselves grace and understand that this is a journey. It's not a race, and we have to take our time with it because we do have little people that we have to be okay for.
yes, we do. You
Mhm.
with the beautiful word of transition. What does self grace look like in practice? Self
Yeah.
grace.
Yeah. Understanding that if you mess up, it's okay. It's okay. You learn from it and do something different. You may have to, mess up 1,000 times, but that 1,001, you have the opportunity to do something different. So give yourself grace. And as hard as it may be, give other people grace too. And mind you, Sean, when I do these podcasts, when I talk to people, I talk to them, it helps me. So, that's I love it. That's why I love this field. That's why I love helping people, and all of that. So give yourself grace and really try to give other people grace too. As long as you see that, as long as you're trying, as long as the other individuals around you are trying, go ahead on and give a little bit of grace.
Yeah, we all need it, man. Life is hard right now. We all need
Very,
it. We
very,
all
very
need it.
important.
We all on
Hmm.
the edge. We all a little agitated. We all got a short
Yeah.
fuse. You know what I'm saying? Give
Hmm.
grace. So,
Yep.
Dominique, if a
What's up?
person say, all right, this sounds good. I want to sign up. I want to do it. What is the
Yeah.
onboarding process like for your soft structure? How does that look?
Yeah. So, if an individual wants to sign up, whether there's coaching or whether there's getting on the waiting list for the PDF, and there's also going to be a mini course attached to it as well. Um, I know my first mini course. I'm so excited. In the community, all they have to do is just email me. You want me to just say my email, Sean?
Yes, please.
Okay, it's info dot Dominique Yancy, my name is on the screen, at gmail.com. Little lengthy, but it's info dot Dominique Yancy at gmail.com. And just let me know what you want to do, and then I'll reach out and we go from there. It's not that difficult.
Also advise them on. We mentioned some of your publications during the course of the podcast. Advise them on how could they reach your publications.
Yeah, so on if they want any publications as well, they can always attach it to that, and then I'll go about just sending it straight to them. I'm not going to send you here, here, and here for that, but I know for pause, process, and proceed, it is on Amazon. It is Walmart.com, Barnes and Noble, and I want to say Books a Million. It's on several platforms as well, but I know Amazon and Walmart are the two main where my first baby, pause, process, proceed, is located.
I gotta say it. I gotta say it. I gotta say it, man.
Huh.
Give me your thoughts on this, because we're both multi-published people. Your
Uh-huh.
first book,
Mhm.
that thing was a banger, man. So how do you feel like, years later, you've written things since then. What's your favorite book of yours?
Oh, that's a good one, Sean. I think it's going to be self structure
Okay, give me your why. Give me your why.
because I've since I started writing, I've had a lot of experience and I've learned what worked and what didn't work, what people wanted, what people didn't want. And so with self structure, I'm able to put that in there. I'm able to, guide people a little bit better than I would have 10 years ago. So I really and truly in my heart feel that self structure, even though they're all my favorite, but I think self structure probably is going to be, above the other ones.
It's a funny paradigm in the artist creative space, right? Where it's like some folks say that Jay-Z first album, all of them is the best one, Reasonable Doubt. Some folks say that Nas Illmatic, he was 14, 15 years old, is the best one.
Yeah. Oh,
He's done so much since then. He's in his 50s. He's got so much
yeah.
more experience and knowledge, but it's like
Yeah.
some people think that that first one is just like, so for myself, people still come in and say, man, what's your kick? Well, I'm still reading that. I'm still advising supposed to get it. I'm like, man, I done wrote 13 books since
Since
then.
then,
And I think
right?
I'm a better writer since then, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
they're like, man, but what's your kick? I be like, okay.
Yeah, no, I get that. I've gotten that too with pause process proceed because at that time I was doing group therapy and I was also helping with developing the curriculum for the group therapy as well. So I was able to implement pause process proceed within the curriculum as well. So I mean, I still get information on it. I still have individuals from long ago randomly email me about it. However, I think soft structure is going to be close.
Yeah, it's like being a parent once again. You don't want to have a favorite child, but it's like
I know that
every
first
parent
and
probably on the sleep do. My
right.
grandfather, my grandfather would always say, name my favorite, right? like on the slick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Among all my little cousins, he's my favorite.
Yeah. Right, right. No, I get that. I get that. So
Yeah,
we shall see. But I
yeah,
did like a soft launch on soft structure via TikTok. And so I plan on doing more of that.
yes, yes. So you're a very creative person. We talk all the time in the
Mhm.
background about various projects and things, man. What can we expect next to come out of you in your multi-tool build that you have? What can we expect next out of Dominique?
Besides self structure, the mini course that's gonna be attached to it as well. I'm probably gonna do a bundle deal. One-on-one coaching, consulting as well. So I want to actually take it one thing at a time. I don't want to put my hands. I don't want to put too much in the pot, or however they say it. I don't want to put my hands too much into a lot of projects. I want to take my time and design each one accordingly so that it can be um quality. I want quality work. I want people to
Yeah,
be able to say, hey, let's do this, let's do that, because my
yeah,
goal is to also put pause, process, and proceed in libraries. That's also what I'm working on. Yeah,
yeah,
I think we talked about
definitely.
that maybe
Yeah,
a couple of years ago.
yes,
That
we
too.
did. We did.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I want to revisit that.
yeah.
To put it on the shelves.
Definitely do that, man. Definitely do that. Get that. The people need it, man. The schools,
Yeah,
libraries, like they need this information, man.
they
And I'm
do.
glad you're doing the courses because my squad and I, we have done 2 or 3 courses over the years, and
Yeah,
I was very fulfilling. It's a
yeah,
very good experience for the readers to like actually sit there. Like not many times you have a course with the writer
yeah.
themselves to answer
I
questions
know.
in real time on page 18. What you meant when you said this to be able to real
Right,
time get
right.
a reaction and an explanation and
Yeah,
understanding from the person that wrote it, not
right,
somebody else. But that's
right.
rare, man. So I'm glad you're doing that, and I can't wait to hear about it when you finish doing it. I can't wait to hear the feedback.
Well, I'm gonna be in contact with you as well. So I'm gonna keep you updated on everything. No worries at all. No worries, Sean.
Sure. It's a blessing to be a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. I feel the same way.
So before we leave, one of my questions I had last year for all of my guests at
Mhm.
the end. This is a literary podcast. How do you read your books, Dominique? Every person reads incredibly different. How do you sit down and read your books?
How I sit down and read my books. Well, I don't know, I just sit down and I read them. I just take it one like I read my Bible, one chapter at a time. I mean, I just sit and I read it, and sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, you could have added this," and "Oh, you didn't have to put that in there," but it's okay. But I do go back and I do visit my work, and I just sit down and I just read it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well,
Hmm.
whenever you're sitting down to read, like for pleasure or just for leisure, right? Are you like
Hmm.
a note taker? Do you do a lot of like writing on the side? Do you take in a journal, like taking notes? How do you go about that process?
I do the journal. I don't.
Journal.
The only thing I write in that I have been writing in is my Bible. But as far as my books and everything, I don't write in my books. Like I love the look of a library. I love a library. I love books, physical books. I started getting into like the Kindle, but I just love the physical book in my hand, and maybe I'll jot something down on paper right next to it. But no, I don't. I don't write in those books. So.
Yeah. When you're journaling, do you have a system or a process, or you just pretty much as it's coming to you, pretty much take it down and you're done with it?
Yeah.
Like, what's your system like?
Yeah, no, I pretty much just write it down. Some people do like the soap method and different
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
I just pretty much write it down, and but I try to put it in categories for me to understand, and then I'll go from there, and then I'll do like a life application. Okay, this is everything I learned. How can I apply this to my life? That life application to sum
I
it up.
love that. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's the top of the year. Some folks do resolutions. Some folks do vision boards. They have other methods that they do. What do you do to reset for the brand new year? What's your method?
I used to do like the vision boards and all of that, but there's a new system that I'm trying out with doing things, having goals every month. And so just writing out my goal for the month and just trying to achieve that. And next month, when it's time to, have my own little meeting for the next month, then I can see what worked and what didn't work and if I need to carry it over. So I'm not going to put all that extra stress of trying to do things, soon within a year. I'm not doing that. I'm going to take it month to month. This is my system. This is how I'm slowing myself down so I could be less stressed and less chaotic.
Now, I love those questions, man, because so many people that's watching the show, when it comes to reading, for an example, they all think that we all read the same. We don't all read the same. And in the
No.
course of a year, I've had so many authors tell me so many various ways in which they go about it. There is no wrong way to go
Yeah.
about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, there's no wrong way at all. Some people do like the audio reading.
Yes.
Some
I love
people,
audio. Love
some
audio.
people do visual reading. As long as you're able to do some type
Yeah.
of reading, some
Yep.
type of stimulation, you're stimulating your mind some type of way, then that's fine.
That's right. That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. So thank you very, very much. This is the first episode of 2026.
Yes. Thank
You
you.
just set it off, man.
I know. I'm excited, and I'm so proud of you, Sean. You've come a long way with your work and everything like that. So I just wanted to let you know from me to you that you are doing really well and I'm proud of you.
Man, from you, that means a whole lot. I don't take that lightly. Coming from where we from, man, trying to
No.
scrap our way through it, man. Like, it really, really means a lot. And I definitely appreciate it. And look forward to more of these shows, man. I love to have returning guests. So maybe later on in the year, you got
Yeah.
something else you want to do, or come back and do a revisit on the aftermath of the launch. Let me know, and we'll do a live whenever you want. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
keep in contact. So
yeah, for sure, for sure.
thank you,
Okay, well, you
Sean.
have a good evening. For everybody watching the
You
show later
too.
on, I have another guest coming on Thursday. Be right back with Jewel Parker Rose and her book called Ghost Boys, young adult novel and the young adult graphic novel as well to go along with it. So that's our Thursday podcast. 2 shows, 1 week. Let's get it.
Bye.